Hi, and thank you for joining the last part of this year's webinar series. Today we are going beyond the horizon, talking about the recent ForeFlight mobile release and giving an update for upcoming features. Again, you can win a ForeFlight subscription, Performance Plus with European coverage. And yeah, good luck for the raffle. ForeFlight is improving the mobile app on a monthly base, and all the time we try to improve the usability, bring in new tools, and today we will talk about these improvements. As always, you can ask questions via the message panel, and these questions will be answered during the presentation. If we don't get back to you, please email to team@foreflight.com and the colleagues will take care. If you run into technical problems, try to refresh the webinar. But this session, as all sessions, will be recorded and later accessible at foreflight.com/webinars. Now let's get started. New features bring more options, and so this year we have gone a huge step up for improving the usability of the ForeFlight mobile app. When a new release is published, you will see this pop-up window with a short description of the new features included in that release. What we did is we added a new learning tool to the application. So in this case, a new aeronautical map drawer with different modes was published. And if you like to learn how it works, please tap on See How It Works. You will get a short description about the features and options included in the new release so that you will be aware of the new modes, options, you will get with a new release. Also, if a function is moved to another place inside the app, you will get a notification. Now let's come to the aeronautical map update. You will notice that we quick filter on the left side of the screen disappeared. That gives you a better decluttered map and easier to read VFR map. To reach the quick filter, you can tap on the VFR icon on the left, and you see that we have now different modes of map depiction: VFR, low IFR, and high IFR. For all modes, you can now individually set your quick filters. And for all of these modes, you have the option to preset specific appearance of the map. The options on the left side will disappear after a while, and you can set the time between 10 seconds and 30 seconds by adjusting the auto dismiss feature. Map theme, terrain, cultural elements or place labels or the size of characters in the app are set globally. The features below are set individually, in this case for the VFR mode. That counts, for example, for airports. You can set the airports who will be displayed in the VFR mode, and you can define the minimum runway length of airfields displayed on the map. Also, auto highlight, the option to hide airspace above a specific altitude or to hide airspaces activated by NOTAMs, can be set individually for the VFR mode. To provide a better readability of the VFR map, we have improved the depiction of roads and railroads, and we have added power lines. Please be aware that we are depicting the power lines on the map, but we don't have yet included the individual altitudes in the obstacle database and in synthetic vision, for example. So you can be aware of the power lines as a landmark, but they will not be detected as an altitude, as an obstacle. We have also improved the airspace settings in the ForeFlight mobile app. Again, we are opening the settings for the VFR mode and scrolling down to the airspace settings. And the huge changes that in the past only class Echo airspace in the US could be hidden. Now you can display or hide class Echo airspace with lowered or with a different lower limit. More options are available to hide or display caution, danger, or warning areas, or prohibited and restricted airspaces. That allows you to individual your settings for the airspace depiction. ForeFlight Mobile is well known for its alerts. And for airspaces, you can decide whether you want to see or not to see the radio frequencies of a specific airspace. As an additional airspace alert type, we have added radio mandatory zones. So as an example, you can see here the alert when approaching the Allendorf radio mandatory zone. You get the information about the distance and the limits of that zone, and you get also the information to call into Allendorf. When connected to a Bluetooth audio panel or Bluetooth headset, you will get also the audio alert as an addition to the visual alert in the ForeFlight mobile app. That keeps the time you have the head down on the map low. Further improvements are made for the traffic alerts. ForeFlight Mobile not only alerts you when other aircraft are approaching your flight route, you get also information and alerts when traffic is on the runways you are approaching or traffic on a short final. When on ground and for airports with taxiway information and runway information, we provide you with a runway proximity alert when approaching a specific runway. Also, you get on-ground information when other aircraft are approaching the runway you intend to enter. As you may know, weather information via ADS-B is not available outside the US. So there was for a long time the request from our customers to provide internet connectivity during the flight when connected with an ADS-B receiver via Wi-Fi. And voila, here it is. When connected with Sentry Plus in that case, you not only get the FLARM and ADS-B traffic information, you can also get parallel radar information via the internet. Please be aware that the radar information is delayed and it's not the weather in front of you. So it takes some while to collect the data, process the data, and publish the data. So for strategic flight planning, you can now see the radar information, but it's not to find the spot where you cross a squall line. ForeFlight is not only bringing new features on a monthly basis to our customers, we also add new information for new regions. So, in the March release 2024, we are adding, for example, the VFR maps for Southern Africa. What's coming up? Logbook and recording of flights depends from the authority responsible for your license. Now, or in a coming release, we will add EASA regulations to the logbook settings. That includes the FCL 050 report for EASA or the report requiring to make your annual check ride. The format can be exported as a PDF file and you can sign it and put it to your documentation. Also, we have added currencies like different language proficiencies, the EASA LAPL license, and more. And yeah, so if you are coming to AERO next week, please come by at our booth and have a look to a pre-release of these features. So they are not included in the current release, but we have the plans to bring these features this summer to the field. And at AERO, you can have a first look and discuss the features, provide some feedback to our team. In today's webinar, we have showed the improvements of usability, explained the new aeronautical map drawer, changes in airspace settings and alerts, displayed more regions coming up, and talked about the connectivity improvements. Furthermore, I gave you a short outlook into coming releases. If you are not yet a ForeFlight subscriber, you can register for a free trial at foreflight.com/30day-Europe. On our webpage, you can also learn about all of our new and previous ForeFlight releases. You can register for coming webinars or watch past ones at foreflight.com/webinars. And whenever you have a question or a problem, don't hesitate to contact our support team at team@foreflight.com. And we will be happy to see you next week at AERO Friedrichshafen at Hall 3, stand 401. Now let's talk about some questions coming up during the webinar. Yeah, we had some questions regarding the new aeronautical map drawer, and somebody was very good by watching the webinar. Of course, having radar information when connected to a Sentry Plus or another GDL90 device is not a Performance Plus feature. It's available for everyone who has a ADS-B FLAM receiver connected to the iPad and has a valid ForeFlight license. Could be Basic Plus, Pro Plus, Performance Plus. Yep, so that's a short correction. So Keith, could you please show my iPad? So I will come. Yeah, thank you. And one question was about the new feature, the EASA logbook. Please be aware that is under development. It's not yet finished. We are happy to demonstrate it next week at AERO and take your feedback, and that feedback to have both formats as a report, FAA and EASA report will be passed to the team. So thank you for that comment. Yeah, so the new aeronautical map drawer is I personally I like it. So because the map has now more space for the map details. This is not decluttered by the quick filter. But you can reach the quick filter pretty fast by tapping on the VFR button. And here in that case, I have, for example, the airways switched off. And simply by switching over to the low IFR layer, I have the airways switched on and the waypoints switched off. So the quick filter is not visible forever, so it's not permanent, but you can adjust the time between 10 and 30 seconds if you need that time to set or preset the map during the flight. Yeah, you can see the elements on top. So the map, theme, terrain, culture element, place, labels. These settings are also still available under the setting icon, and these settings are global for all modes. Other settings are individual for VFR settings or low IFR settings. Here you can decide, for example, when flying IFR, you won't see other fields, but it depends on your on the aircraft you are flying and on your personal preferences. So so play around and you will see that mode, this aeronautical map drawer, works pretty well. And yeah, so test it. And if you have other feedback, if you have something you want to tell us, please drop an email to team@ForeFlight.com. Philip, so the aircraft airspeed in kilometer per hour. So I'm waiting as well since a while. So, but as you can probably you have seen that we have at least some progress. We have now metric altitudes already, metric runway length, and probably once a day we will have also metric aircraft speed units. Yeah, thank you for that input. We will pass that to the team. And yeah, so if you have the chance to be at Aero next week, be aware, Hall A3. That's a joint booth between ForeFlight, Jeppesen, Boeing Education, and we would be happy to see you there. It's not you have the chance to renew your license at AERO at the booth. We have some providers like Eisenschmidt and Skyfox who are providing special offers for Sentry Plus. So it's definitely worth to come to Friedrichshafen. Okay. Thank you for joining and hope to see you next week. Bye.